snacks ready, get a cozy blanket, get your dog to cuddle with. Let's go ahead and watch part 2 of the Ghost of Gladstone Villa. Hey Breezers, how are you today? Happy Halloween! I hope everybody has a beautiful Halloween. Have fun, be safe. I thought we would watch part 2 of the Ghost of Gladstone Villa by the Celtic Druid. I will go ahead and link the description to their channel in the description. So let's go ahead. I know the first part was so good, and then it kind of left off on a cliffhanger, so I'm interested to see what happens. All right, let's go ahead and watch this together.
The Ghost of Gladstone Villa, the full story, part 2. This is truly a genuine experience that really did happen to me, my family and our friends at a property called Gladstone Villa in the former mining town of Bargoed, which is in the Caerphilly County Borough of the South Wales Valleys, just 17.3 miles from Cardiff. I got to the part in the previous episode where the police arrived. There were 2 male officers.
That's where, and it just cut off too. So he was like, and then the police, and I was like, the police, and that was the end of the video. So I'm going to try not to talk too much during this, you guys, but I do still have to talk. Now, why did the police come?
Young men. I don't know why they called to the property because I can't see how they had anything to do with it.
Right.
Could do anything about it. But they came to the top stairs, on top of the landing, and they only, well, they had their torch, they did. I can still remember it. I was halfway on the stairs and I was looking at them on my right. And they only, well, one of them only popped his head to the hatch of the attic. He didn't want to go any further. He seemed rather hesitant. But it was one of the people who suggested it was my father playing a prank on the family from the bakehouse. I think at that time he had left Gladstone Villa. But
Right.
the police said, oh, this is not a job for us, this is a job for the vicar. Or the vicars. And the priest had already arrived there by that time. So there were other incidents. There was the time where the family went out for the day. They came back only to find that all the furniture had been turned upside down.
Oh my gosh.
Naturally, you would think that somebody had broken in, but there was no sign of a break-in really, because there was no forced entry, there was nothing missing.
Oh yeah.
So this is typical poltergeist activity then, isn't it? Nothing was missing. There was my father's experience in the bedroom. I'm jumping time here, obviously. I'm not doing it in chronological order. My mother said, she told me this, I didn't see this myself. She went upstairs to get him up for work, because he would sleep during the day. She got him up for his meal, for him to be ready for his night shift. And she went in there, only to be confronted by the ironing board placed on his belly.
What?
That's what you want to call it. And his slippers had been flung out on the landing. So whatever was there made him unwelcome. He got up, he woke up and said something in unrepeatable exclamation. And this is where all the blame was coming on, because obviously my father at some point blamed my grandfather Bill, saying he was responsible for some of it.
Oh no.
But in time he learned that it wasn't my grandfather doing it. And yeah, as I say, we left in the summer of 1978. But yeah, my father would come and see me every weekend because he'd left. It wasn't anything to do with the Ghost of Gladstone Villa. It was because of the breakdown of the marriage, really.
Okay.
And they divorced in 75, as I said in the previous video. And he would, he left in 1972. And yeah, and they were separated for about 2 or 3 years, and they divorced in 75. Like I said, my father would come and see me every Saturday. He would take me to see my paternal grandparents, Roland Dexter and Doris Dexter. They lived in the village of Ghastly Gare. Yes, that's not hard to say, Ghastly Gare, even though it does look. And also my father would take me to the Cameo cinema that was in Bargoed at the time. No longer there, but external and internal pictures of...
I just want to say I love how he gives us the history and dates of everything. It's so cool learning about like the different villages, and it's interesting.
And online you can find it. Just type in Bargoed Cameo Cinema and you'll find it there, what it looked like. He took me to see King Kong in there, the 1976 remake. Wonderful memories and nostalgia, even though the paranormal activity will continue. It wasn't like what you see in horror films. It wasn't anything like that. But when we left in Sevilla, like I said, it was then that we discovered that my grandfather Bill had a dog. He called it was a black Labrador. It was. He called it Tovy, Tovy.
Oh, okay.
It died before I was born. But this is the disturbing bit. He didn't bury the dog. So he kept it under the bed in that particular bedroom where the main activity was.
Under the bed?
Occur. I can clearly remember my grandfather Bill coming down the stairs from the main bedroom with a box. My mother was helping him. She didn't know what was in it. He just said, "Tovy's in here." And I said, "What?" I didn't see it myself, and I'm glad I didn't. The remains of his dog. So,
oh no.
Maybe that was the cause of why the dog jumped on the bed, or pounced on the bottom of the bed in that bedroom that evening. So, in time when the two local businessmen bought the property, it became part villas for a while because John Rissey's son Andrew had the property. He lived in it, and he said there was nothing there. He didn't hear anything, nothing ghostly or anything like that. But eventually became Red's Park Hotel, and it was owned by Londoner Roland Butler, and he and his wife denied any hauntings that was there. Because I asked him, he said, "There's nothing like that going on here." I doubted it, but that was until Debbie McBurney, or the McBurney family, took over. Debbie and her then husband Nigel. Yeah. I had my 40th birthday there on the 24th of August 2009. It was a Monday afternoon. My friend Nicholas was with me, and I was discussing it with Debbie and another female staff, and they told me of their own personal experiences that happened there. There was lights going off and on, their own personal experiences. They saw shadows in the bar.
Oh, wow.
And Jade McBurney told me there was lights going off and on, as it was when I was living there with my family. We had footsteps in the bedroom, lights going off and on. My only rational explanation for the lights going off and on, that there may have been an electrical fault. I doubt it very much, because my mother said it wasn't quite like that. You could hear the actual switch going off and then bump, bump, and it's going again. And that's how I remember it, really, because I can tell the difference, because we had it downstairs. The light was flickering off and on. That was an electrical fault. There was a fault in the tube. But yeah, they said there was sightings in room 5. And the vision of a bride in white, which didn't make any sense to me at all whatsoever. So I was listening to this female staff, There was a gentleman called Christian Davis who worked there.
I think out of all the things that he's told us, I think having seeing a bride, I think that would be the most terrifying one to me. I'm not sure why, but that would terrify me.
Told me that he heard footsteps when he worked there. There was Aled. Can't remember his last name, but he showed me around on one of my birthdays there in 2012. I got that on video. I'm going to have to convert that to DVD onto YouTube. Showing around the actual hotel. And he took me to that room on the landing, overlooking Cardiff Road and into Bargoed Town Centre. I didn't feel particularly nervous, but I didn't seem to want to talk about it, or didn't want to appear on camera anyway. So, yeah, he said he heard the footsteps and everything. So, Nigel McBurney. He was a youngish man. He said he heard noises coming from the cellar. But he thought it was someone trying to break in.
Oh.
And he dismissed it all as saying it could have been anything. But the female staff swore blind it was haunted, which it was.
Right.
I can actually confirm that it was, genuinely.
And I believe you. I can't even remember what happened 3 years ago, barely. And you have dates and times and names and everything. So that already sold me. But I believe it's haunted. I do.
Stay there at the hotel was Jay Roberts. He's not a personal friend of mine, but I see him now and again. We've talked about it. And he said when he stayed there, he heard similar things as well, footsteps and everything. And there was another one called Josh Jenkins. They're all on Facebook. And when he was there, he said he saw the old man.
Oh, wow.
I can only assume this was the same old man that my mother saw when she lived there.
Yeah.
That grey-haired old man that popped his head around the corner looking into the room. I didn't see it, but my mother did. I took my mother's birthday one year. It was on May the 24th. Can't remember what year it was, but yeah, I took her to West Park Hotel for her birthday for a drink. It was there on the table on her own, and she happened to look like that. She said she heard her name being called, and when she looked around, there was nobody there.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't hear this, so I don't know. Very strange.
Very, yeah.
Reg Park Hotel closed in 2014. And I hear that Gethin Mills has got it now. He's a businessman who has Shadow Holdings, a scaffolding business, and apparently it's being turned into some sort of halfway house or some sort of care home. But they did try to get an investigation team to investigate, but he wasn't interested. He didn't even return their calls.
Oh no. That would have been interesting.
But I took it upon myself to sort of like take the time to do a thorough research, deep research, because I had the time at the time, into Gladstone Villa and the Cardiff Road area, and I found some very interesting things indeed. I got the information mainly from Bargoed Library, looking at old newspapers on the microfiche readers you can look on, and maps. Mr. Steve Kings, who was the manager of Bargoed Library, he's sadly passed away now. Steve Kings, yes, you'll find him on YouTube as well at Bargoed Library. He helps somebody with their family tree. I've got an interesting genealogy. So,
yeah.
I've traced my family right back to Henry Tudor times. So I do a lot of research like that sometimes.
You're good at your research. From what I've seen in the few videos I've watched of yours now, you are really good at that.
I found that Gladstone Villa dated back to 1900.
Oh, wow.
And, the Kimmiett family lived there in 1923. because I saw a document that they were newly married, but their son, Alvin Rowlands Kimmiott, he died at Gladstone Villa on the 29th of March, 1924.
Oh, wow.
Gosh, that's wrong. 29th of May. I'm really butchering this up now, aren't I? It actually was the 29th of May. He was just 4 months old.
Oh my
So
gosh.
this explains the baby the crying baby that my grandfather and my mother heard in
Right.
the wardrobe.
Wow.
So, but before that, there was the Jones family, going back further again, and they lived there during the First World War. They had a large family.
Uh-huh.
Henry Jones. There was 14 in all, and I discovered that a letter was written by Henry Jones, stating that his son Albert was taken prisoner during the war by Germany, but he was released in 1917.
Wow. Oh my
And that
gosh.
letter can be found online as well, because that's how I found it. You just type in Gladstone Villa Bargoed and you will see it there.
Okay.
I'm on page 3 of the notes. The Williams family were there living at Gladstone Villa sometime in the 1940s. Hugh and his wife Gwen, and their son was born there, Robert. Robert was born there on 8th of March. That's where I got confused with May and March.
Okay.
In 1946. He's on Facebook as well. And when he lived there, he said he didn't hear any odd happenings. A number of people have said that when they say that they've heard nothing, but like I said, the main activity took place in the top bedroom overlooking Cardiff Road and Bargoed Town Centre. I pointed out in one of the videos, which you'll see. The Mills family were there at some point. Not sure what year or decade it was, but Edgar Mills claimed it was haunted and told his son Kevin that it was a creepy place.
Creepy place.
I went to school with Kevin and got a good head on his shoulders. He well educated. He became a doctor at
Nice.
the famous Great Ormond Street Hospital in London. And he's on Facebook as well, K.A. Mills.
Everybody's on Facebook.
And then my family, of course, Richard and Bill Higgs, moved there with my mother when she was just 10 years old in 1960. And she said there was no hauntings there at all, nothing going on, nothing.
Huh.
That was until 1969 when I was born, because my mother married my father, Douglas Dexter, you've heard of that, in April 68. And they lived at Gladstone Villa. My dad left in 72, and my family, the remaining family, including myself, left in 1978. I moved on to a council estate called Sycamore Court.
Uh-huh.
And then John and Aldo Rissy bought the property, and they changed it to Park Villas. Andrew Rissy, their son, John's son rather, said he heard nothing there either as well, but he lived on the other side of the villa, not the top end. But yeah, as did Roland Butler when he worked there. He said he had nothing there at all when he took over. The ghost of a miner has said to been seen there.
Right.
So maybe this is the white-haired old man that my mother saw and Josh Jenkins saw, because he's been seen near the property or around there, the surrounding areas. Apparently a medium picked him up in vibrations. My granddad Bill said a man was murdered. Actually, no. A man murdered his wife there.
Oh, was that the bride?
So this may explain the bride in white that was seen by the female staff.
Yeah.
Some of the people that worked at Reds Park Hotel. I don't know how my grandfather knew this, because he didn't tell us at the time when we lived there. So, yeah. During my research, I found out through records that Evelyn Kimmiott died in 1970 down in the city of Newport in South Wales, in Gwent. So maybe I was the cause of all this activity, sort of like starting all over again.
Really?
Yeah, maybe Evelyn thought that I was her son Elvin. What was your conclusion to that? Yeah. His death was reported in the obituary part of the Cardiff newspaper, the Western Mail, dated in 1924. The history of the Rafa Club, then, which is a pub which is directly opposite the former Gladstone Villa property, Reds Park Hotel.
Uh-huh.
It dates back to the 16th century. It's well known for its history. Apparently, according to the man that used to have the Rafa Club, there was a priest hole, and I heard that tunnels were there as well.
Huh.
But this has been denied, that the tunnels have anyway. But
Really?
the priest hole rather, is sealed up. The tunnels is legend, because they're supposed to lead up to the village of Gethligair, where my paternal grandparents lived. And a Roman fort is said to be, well, it is there, no doubt about it. It's well known, it's well documented. And also, these tunnels are supposed to lead to the famous manhouse called Clan Caich Vow.
Uh-huh.
Clan Caich Vow should be known to you, because it's been on television. It's featured in Most Haunted with Yvette Fielding. And this is how you pronounce it if you want to look it up.
If I pause it, I don't think it's clear enough to see.
Alright, this is how you spell it. Gethligair, Gelligaer,
Oh, okay.
Roman Fort. Look up Gethligair Roman Fort. It's also name checked in an episode of Torchwood. Can't quite remember the name of the episode, but the character Gwen says, because it's when the Roman appears in the cell, and the police officer in Cardiff says, all I can get out of him is Gethligair. And Gwen said, Gethligair. There's a Roman fort in Gethligair. And, yes. And Llancaich Vow. LLANCAIACHFAWR. But it'll come out anyway with predictive text in. So, yeah. I'm almost done. Like I said, I had a phone call from one of the mediums. I can't remember her name. And she told me that the monk hung himself because she apparently tuned into the monk. Because after this monk, apparently, she didn't get his name either. After seeing something that this monk saw something, but he didn't report it, and he carried the guilt with him. And he couldn't cross over.
Oh, no.
And she also spoke of an old woman. I'm assuming that's Mrs. Evelyn Kimias. I'm getting awfully confused lately. I was talking to somebody on Twitter. Well-known medium Jackie Newcomb. She would have been seen on programs like This Morning with Phil and Holly. I don't watch it. But she said it's like Grand Central Station. That's the message she sent me, because she tuned into Gladstone Villa as well. She didn't pick up the monk, but she did like a portal there.
Oh, really?
Actually, that went through the wardrobe that the baby was crying from. My grandfather said there was more than one there, because we gave a nickname to two of them, Johnny and Di. We also heard female footsteps as well, because my mother said that the footsteps would change in tone and style. What I have said here is true. I swear on this holy Bible that I am telling the truth. Okay? I swear on my family's life, my children, my mother, I swear on my life that I really am sincerely telling the truth. Okay? Yeah.
Well, I believe you.
Any of this if I couldn't possibly back it up. Without a thorough research, that you could do as well. It takes a little time. here's what it looks like. I've got documents in here that you won't believe. I've got my birth certificate. I've got
Okay,
my
let me.
family
Oh, wait.
history here, my family tree.
There you go. Wow. I believe him. Do you guys? I totally believe this.
If you want to see it, oh, it's going everywhere.
Wow.
I'll put that net to one side. I've got my family tree there. My family tree there.
Oh, I'm trying to pause it
And
so we can. It's not gonna work. I'm
that's the
sorry.
one used to look like.
Wow.
See if I can get a decent, tidy look at it. Cardiff Road, Barragoid. That is my actual photo. Here's a proper, decent picture of my father, Douglas Dexter.
Uh-huh.
Some people said I do look like him, yes. Yeah. Most of the people that I mentioned have sadly now gone. Fred Davis died in March 1982. Ivy France died sometime in 2002. She was 82, she was a good age. Her son Charles died a few years ago. My grandmother Rita died on the Saturday the 10th of July 1982 in Sycamore Court. That's demolished as well. And my grandfather Bill, her husband, obviously died on the 30th of March 2014 at the age of 88. And my father died on the 18th of April 1991. He was just 44 years old. It meant a lot to me. He was my hero. I emulated him. I looked up to him. And I keep thinking about him a lot. I've written a poem about him. I've paid a tribute to him. Make note of this. Give you an idea, to inspire an idea to do this yourself. There's a site called Forever Mist, and I dedicated a page to him. If you look up Forever Mist, William Douglas Dexter, 1947, 1991, and you'll find it. I did a write-up on his life, like a biopic, in the sections where it says life. Click on that and you'll see the life that he had. And also I did a poem about him as well. I've written poetry on Facebook. I've written things, so yeah, what else is there? I challenge any hardened skeptic, okay, or firm non-believer to stay at Gladstone Villa
Oh.
if you can get access. And I can assure you that most certainly the property will make them question their belief system. Of that I am 100% positive. Okay? I hope you enjoyed this. It's all true.
I did. Did you guys like this? I hope everybody has a beautiful Halloween. Have fun, be safe, make good choices. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Do you guys believe that it's haunted? I do. I definitely do. I hope you're having a great day, great evening wherever you are, and I will see you so soon.